my name is Dũng. I'm the lecturer of marketing from Bách Khoa University in Vietnam.
Hi everyone, I'm Vũ. I'm the teaching assistant of Mr. Dũng. So today we will cover a very important topic in venture creation process: survey and interview for customer feedback and product owner. So the first thing I guess everyone wanna know is what is in-depth interview and what is survey.
So in-depth interview and survey is just two techniques to collect the data from the market.
So what is the market data that you mentioned? Is there any certain type or of information that we have to collect?
Yes. So that's a very good question, because when we're talking about market data, meaning that we collect all the related data from the market. And in the market we have a customer, we have a supplier, we have a competitor, we have a channel distributor. So we will try to collect all the data from them, right?
Yes. But we think this kind of topic, I guess that the most important data would be customer data. So can you list some of the customer data kind of things so that everyone...
That's a very good point to make, yes. Normally when we're talking about the market data, the first thing we're talking is about the customer data, right?
Yes.
So we can ask the customer about what they need, what they like, why they buy the product, what kind of feature, what kind of option from the product or services that they like, right? And we can also asking them about the pricing level that they are willing to pay, and also we asking about where they normally buy the product or what kind of channel communication that they normally watching for. Right?
So when we already collect a lot of data to our let's say consideration, so what would be the outcome of that data that we have?
You mean that what we use the data for?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What do you think?
I guess that to some of the developers, we will use that as a feedback to our prototype so that we can adjust our data.
Right.
But is there any other use of the data that...
We use the data from the customer for everything.
Yeah.
To design a new product.
Oh, right? Design a new product.
Yeah, design a new product, new services, new software, for example, right? Because we want to know what customer like. We want to know specifically, the option that customer prefer. The pricing level, right?
So it's not just for the protocol, let's say prototype testing, but it's also to develop a new product.
Yes, and in addition to that, we also, if you already have a product, right, then you can also ask the customer about their evaluation of your product in order to improve it. You can also ask the customer to compare your product with, the competitor offers, right? So that's a very good source of information for you to make a decision about your product and services, about the pricing, about the channel distribution, and also about the communication.
So that kind of data is very, very powerful for our decision.
Right.
I wonder, is there any difference between surveys and in-depth interview?
Of course, thank you very much. That's a very important question. Now, first we're talking about in-depth interview. What it means? So let's see the word in-depth. In-depth meaning that we want to explore deep down inside of the customer opinion, behavior. When customer saying that I like this, then you ask them why, what you use for. If you design a software, then customer saying that I need this option, that option, then you not stop at that. You keep asking the question like why do you need that option. For example, if you use the iPhone, for example, then customer saying that I need 2 camera for the iPhone. Then the next question should be why you need 2 camera for one phone. Right? And then customer say, oh, I use this to selfie. Then you understand why, customer need 2 camera at the same time for one piece of, product. Right?
Yeah. So how about the survey?
Yes. So the survey is the next step. I asking you, and I know that, oh, okay, you need this feature, and why you need it, right? Come back to the question about, the 2 camera that we need for one phone, right? But when I know it from you during the in-depth interview. It's just only you, right? So I want to make sure that it's correct for a lot of people. on the customer, not only correct for only you, right? So we use the survey to confirm what we found in-depth interview. So technically, what we can say is that in-depth interview we base on a small, simple size, normally from 5 to 10 customers. But with the survey, normally we use with a large number of respondents or customers.
I see. So at this point of time, we can see that the in-depth interview is to gain more information with let's say 2 or 3 layers of why the information exists. More, let's say, more kind of more involvement in understanding one subject very thoroughly. Whereas surveys, like we consider how large one point that we found in the in-depth interview to be. Also for survey, I think we can ask more questions than the in-depth interview. Is it, or
it can be yes or it can be no. No, for in-depth interview, normally you can develop a lot of questions. You keep asking what happened, why you want it, right? So you ask the question deep down inside. While for the survey, you can ask the question, but it's not normally it's a closed-ended question.
That's right.
Multiple choice.
So
while for the in-depth interview, it's a probing question, open-ended question.
So
right?
that also different in the nature of the question.
That's right.
How about the numbers of like let's say number of people that I have to interview? Is there any difference with?
Yes, like I just mentioned. Normally for in-depth interview, we use a small number of people. Because why? Because normally it's the time. One in-depth interview can be 1 hour, 2 hours.
So we spend more time with
we
them.
spend more time with each respondent, right?
Yes.
And remember, the key thing about in-depth interview is to explore new things, right? So we will stop the in-depth interview process once we cannot find the new thing from the interview.
I see.
Right? So once we collect all what we need, then we design a questionnaire to conduct a survey later.
So,
see the point?
So put in another word that the skill set that you have for in-depth interview must be a little bit different, or it's very different.
Yes,
the questionnaire.
that's a very good point. Now, if a questionnaire, normally you design a questionnaire at home, then you test it, and then you send it to the respondent. So the skill involved for people who do it is limited. You don't need a very high skill to do that. However, for in-depth interview, you need a person with a very skillful, right? Interpersonal skill, communication skill, probing skill. You know how to ask questions that customers are willing to answer you. See the point? So the skill involved is higher for in-depth interview.
Since you mentioned about like the way that we do surveys, like we less involved in the process. So maybe it can be inferred that it's more objective, or
Yes. No. In-depth interview, because you want to know deep down inside about customer need and their behavior, and you ask only 5 or 10 customers, right? So it's more subjective. It's my opinion, right? But survey, you want to confirm it in large number of people, whether it's true or not, right? You confirm it.
Yes.
So it's more objective, and the level of generalization for interview, of course, lower than the level of generalization for the survey.